Before someone on the internet tells you the best and worst neighborhoods in Warner Robins, Georgia, let me save you from making one really expensive mistake. Warner Robins is not a city where you should choose a house based on the subdivision name alone. The house can look phenomenal, the price can be juicy, and then you realize your morning commute takes you across Watson Boulevard, down Houston Lake Road, and into a line of cars trying to enter Robins Air Force Base at the exact same time. That little detail can change how you feel about your house every single day. So I'm going to give you the Warner Robins areas and neighborhoods I would seriously consider here in 2026. Then I'm going to show you which ones could be the worst fit for your lifestyle, even if somebody else swears they're the best. Because the right Warner Robins neighborhood is not just about the house, it's the house, the drive, the age, the school assignment, and what you want your normal Tuesday to actually look like. And if we haven't had the pleasure of meeting one another yet, my name is Luke Smith. I'm your #1 resource for everything Middle Georgia. I relocated here myself after getting out of the Army, and now I help people move throughout Warner Robins, Macon, Perry, Byron, Bonaire, Kathleen, really just all of the surrounding areas here in Middle Georgia. And yes, I make money selling houses. Don't report me, but I'm still going to be upfront and honest with you about the neighborhoods based on what you tell me you actually want. So let's start with the market. As of June of 2026, Zillow puts the typical Warner Robins home value just over $216,000. That was up more than 3% from the previous year. Now, Zillow's May median sale price was around $211,900, while Redfin's broader 3-month median was close to $244,000. That gap actually matters here. It tells you that Warner Robins does not have one uniform housing market. The older homes closer to the center of town can sell at a completely different price point than newer construction towards, let's say, Highway 96, Lake Joy Road, or even the southern edge of the area. And you also need to understand how people actually use the name Warner Robins. Somebody may say they live in Warner Robins when the house is technically in Bonaire, Kathleen, or Centerville, or an unincorporated part of Houston County. The mailing address, the city limits, the school zones, the utilities, even the taxes, they may not all line up the way that you assume. So verify the actual address. Now, let's begin with one of the best known options. #1 is going to be Statham's Landings. Quick little side note, great yard sales, and they got a golf course. But okay, get serious. Okay, Statham Landings. It sits on the east side of the area near Highway 247 and Robins Air Force Base, one of the easiest commutes if you're on the base, by the way, okay? It's an established golf course community built around the Landings Golf Club. You'll find mature trees, established homes, sections overlooking the course, and a completely different feel from the brand new subdivisions being built farther west and south. So for somebody working on the base, the location, like I was saying, can be absolutely fantastic. And depending on your gait and your work schedule, you may avoid driving all the way across Warner Robins before you even begin your workday. And let me let you in on a little secret. Your distance from the base is not the same thing as your commute to the base. Which gate do you use? What time do you report for work? Does your route put you on Highway 247 during the shift change? That matters more than somebody saying that the house is 10 minutes from Robins, okay? Now, Statham Landings, it has trade-offs, okay? This is an established neighborhood. That means the roof, heating and air system, windows, plumbing, interior finishes can vary dramatically from house to house. So you may find a beautifully renovated property or one that still looks like the original owner is about to come around the corner from 1994. So golf course living can also mean homeowners association restrictions. You're gonna have course activity, you're gonna have golf balls, and additional questions about the exact lot. So Statham's Landings may be one of your best fits if you want an established golf community and convenient access to the east side of the base. It could be your worst fit if you want brand new construction, no HOA, and a completely modern floor plan. #2 on my list is gonna be the Highway 96 and Lake Joy corridor. Now, this is not one subdivision. It's a whole growth area containing multiple communities in and around Southern Warner Robins, Kathleen, and Bonaire. This is where you'll find a lot of newer housing. You're gonna find larger floor plans. You're gonna find newer shopping and access towards Highway 96, which has some of my favorite shopping. I live in Byron and I still drive over there all the time for some tasty food and has my favorite Kroger. So you may see neighborhoods marketed under names like Magnolia Hill, Kensington, or other newer communities in the general part of Houston County. One that families flock to just because of the school systems is a neighborhood called the Woodlands. Sold quite a few houses inside of that neighborhood, and shout out to Driggers. Okay, Mick Driggers, the builder, actually showed up to closing the other day, gave my clients a closing gift. super professional, builds a wonderful house. Now getting back into things, the exact inventory will change, but the larger points stay the same. This corridor appeals to buyers who want newer construction and suburban convenience. You can actually reach grocery stores like I was talking about, tasty restaurants. You can go to Highway 96 and the southern parts of the county without living in the older, like centralized location of Warner Robins. But here comes the honest truth. The growth is exactly what creates this problem. More houses mean more cars. House and Lake Road, Lakejoy, okay? I don't even want to say this because it's so frustrating sometimes getting stuff in traffic, okay? One of my pet peeves. And just overall, Highway 96, it can become busy during the morning school commute, pick up after afternoon rush, when people get off of work, weekends, holidays. Traffic's really getting to me, okay? Because the neighborhood, it may look close to Robins Air Force Base, but on the map, it looks close on the map. But the actual drive can require crossing several major intersections before you get anywhere near the gate. And newer construction also does not automatically mean better construction. You still need a full independent home inspection. Say it with me, full independent home inspection prior to moving into your house. They check the grading, they check the drainage, okay? They're gonna check stuff like the crawl space or the slab. They're gonna check the attic. They're gonna check the roof, the water heater, the HVAC system. They're gonna check your plumbing, electrical, all the goods, okay? Do not let the new house smell talk you out of doing your due diligence on the home inspection, okay? Because this area may be your best fit if you want newer finishes, more current floor plans, and access to the growing south side, but it may be your worst fit if you hate traffic, you want mature trees on every street, or you need the fastest possible drive to the north side of Warner Robins. Number 3 on my list is going to be Woodbridge in the established neighborhoods near House and Lake Road. So Woodbridge is one of those communities that gives you a more established neighborhood atmosphere while still keeping your near major roads. You got your shopping, your central to Warner Robins. But depending on the section and the individual home, you may find larger lots, mature landscaping, brick construction, maybe floor plans with character. That's not as bad as some of the new construction, newer cookie cutter developments, okay? But the location can put you within practical reach of Watson Boulevard. You got Russell Parkway, you got House and Lake Road, just overall like Centerville and the commercial heart of Warner Robins, especially now that's growing and they're trying to get a good like downtown, right? It's just that central location is like the benefit. It can also be the drawback. House and Lake Road is one of the primary north-south routes in the area. Goes right through the center of the city, north to south. Watson and Russell are the two biggest running east to west corridors. And when those roads get busy, being centrally located sometimes mean that you are centrally located in the middle of everybody else's commute as well. So established homes can also hide expensive maintenance. A brick exterior does not mean the plumbing is new, okay? Even though I think personally brick is the absolute best that you can build outside of metal built homes. Check out our home inspection video that's on YouTube about that one. Fresh paint does not mean the roof has 10 years left, okay? Actually, going back to that. A brick exterior does not mean the plumbing's new. Okay, fresh paint does not mean the roof has 10 years left, and new flooring does not mean the crawl space is dry. You got a moldy crawl space, you're gonna spend thousands of dollars. And if you don't know this, 40% of the air that you breathe in your home comes from your crawl space. So if you have a crawl space and it's all nasty, you might get sick, okay? Woodbridge though, in similar established neighborhoods may be a strong fit if you want a central location, mature streets, and an established home. They may be a bad fit if your heart is set on brand new everything, or you want to avoid the busier commercial corridors. Let's get into number 4. Has to be the west side of Warner Robins, and I'd say toward like the Centerville and Highway 41 area. This can include subdivisions near Gun Road, Lakejoy Road, House and Lake Road, and the Centerville side of the market. Currently under contract on a new construction house. There's just so many options over here, okay? Again, you need to check out the exact city boundary because one house may be Warner Robins and another nearby house may be Centerville. And if you get on the northwest side of Centerville, you might actually be in Byron. It's so weird. I'm telling you. Used to be a police officer. When I'm looking at these maps and how the city's laid out, it makes absolutely no sense at all, okay? I don't understand at all. But this side of town, okay, it can be appealing if you want access to Centerville shopping. You got Highway 41, you got I-75 that goes right through Byron, or a commute toward Macon, okay? Makes it really easy. And it can also give you options ranging from older established homes to newer subdivisions. Because for someone who works in Macon, Byron, or maybe even toward the interstate, the west side may make it far more sense than living near the base. And that is where the generic, quote, best neighborhood videos get this completely wrong. They assume everybody moving to Warner Robins works at Robins Air Force Base. A lot of people do, not everybody does. So if you work in Macon and you buy on the far east side because somebody told you that it was the best area, you may have just added unnecessary drive time every single day to work. Unless you got some juicy podcasts that you're listening to, it's gonna be a lot of money in maintenance and gas and oil changes and all that good stuff. But the west side could be your best fit if your life pulls you towards Centerville, Byron, Macon, I-75. It could be your worst fit if you work on the east side of the base and must cross Warner Robins during peak traffic. Number 5 is the older central Warner Robins neighborhoods. I'm talking about the established streets closer to Watson Boulevard, Russell Parkway, North Davis Drive, and the original portions of the city. This right here is where you can sometimes find some of the most affordable entry points into Warner Robins. You can see brick ranches, modest square footage, larger, older lots, and houses built during the decades when Warner Robins Air Force Base drove the city's rapid growth. My father-in-law remembers riding his bike down Watson Boulevard when it used to still be a dirt road. They still have some of those houses today. For a first-time buyer, veteran using a VA loan, right? Maybe you're an investor or somebody who simply does not want a giant mortgage, there can be some legitimate opportunities here. You may also be extremely close to the base. You still have restaurants, you still have the stores, you got the Museum of Aviation right around the corner. But affordable does not always mean simple. Older homes can come with cast iron plumbing, outdated electrical panels, okay? What other things? Aging sewer lines, old ductwork. You got foundation movement, you got drainage issues, and additions that may or may not have been permitted correctly. So then when you get a home inspection or an appraisal done, you may have to get stuff changed and pay out of pocket. So the condition can also vary dramatically, okay, from one street to another. It's crazy. It's all everywhere in Middle Georgia. One street to another can be completely different. But that does not mean the entire central portion of Warner Robins is bad, unless you were born and raised here and you complain all the time on the internet and in the comment section of my video. If you've lived anywhere else, okay, totally understand. Give me your advice. But we'll rant here. People who are born and raised and stay in their hometown hate their hometown. I challenge you, travel around the United States, go some other places. Middle Georgia ain't bad. Let's just get back to this. Okay, we're getting back to this, okay. It means you cannot buy a zip code. You need to evaluate the actual house, the actual block, and the actual route you'll use every single day. Drive it in the morning, drive it after dark. Check the Warner Robins Police Department's public information. Look at the property condition. Verify the schools directly with Houston County School District and make your own informed decision at the end of the day. Central Warner Robins may be your best fit if affordability, base proximity, and an established house matter more than having the newest subdivision entrance. But it may be your worst fit if you want modern construction, you want uniform neighborhood and appearance, or maybe minimal renovation risks. Right? If you don't have a lot of money in your checking account, I'm gonna throw this out there. There are some crazy new construction deals going on right now. I just helped somebody get $12,500 in free upgrades and $15,000 towards their closing costs. There's a lot of builders, not all builders, but there are some builders in that local area that will pay all of your closing costs. All you have to have is $1,000 down. And there's a lot of different loan types out there. USDA, you can get up to 0% down. FHA is typically 3.5% down. If you're VA, you can get 0% down. There are possibilities. Protect your bank account. Don't live paycheck to paycheck. If you need help, phone number is 478-888-7808. I'm a real person. Shoot me a call, shoot me a text. We'll jam out on it, okay? But now let's deal with the worst neighborhood part, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and declare that the whole group of Warner Robins residents lives in a bad neighborhood. That is lazy, and real estate agents have to be very careful not to steer buyers based on subjective claims about the people who live somewhere. What I can tell you though, is where buyers make their worst neighborhood decisions. The first is choosing based only on the school name they saw online. School assignments can change. A Warner Robins mailing address does not guarantee the specific school. Verify the actual property with Houston County School District before making an offer. Second, choosing based only on a distance to Robins Air Force Base. You need the route to your specific gate at your specific report time. And the third is buying the biggest new house your budget allows without checking the commute, the HOA rules, lot grading, and future construction around it. Fourth is buying an older house because it looks inexpensive and then discovering the mechanical systems need more work than the cosmetic renovation suggested. And you use a little ChatGPT and it said that it's going to do this, this, and this, and it's good to go. And then all of a sudden you have $15,000, $20,000 worth of repairs. And fifth is assuming Kathleen or Bonaire is automatically better than Warner Robins, or assuming Warner Robins is automatically more convenient than Kathleen or Bonaire. It depends on where you work and what you buy and how you live. So here's the verdict. Thank you for watching this far, okay? For an established golf community and east side access, look at Stathams Landing. For newer construction, modern floor plans, explore Highway 96 and Lakejoy Growth Corridor. For a central established neighborhood, consider Woodbridge and the surrounding House and Lake Road area. For access towards Centerville, Byron, Macon, let's say I-75, study the west side carefully. And for affordability and proximity to the original heart of the city, do not automatically overlook Central Warner Robins, but inspect the house and research the exact street. The one sentence I want you repeating to your spouse tonight is this: in Warner Robins, the best neighborhood is the one that matches your gait, your commute, your budget, and your tolerance for maintenance, not the one with the fanciest entrance sign. So if you're relocating here and you want my full relocation guide, comment the word Robins below and I'll send it to you as a thank you, no strings attached, and send me any house you're considering, even if another agent is on the sign. And I'll give you the honest local take. I'll help you actually check that route. I'll help you review the comparable sales and tell you what I would be concerned about before you spend your money. And if I think the commute is going to make you miserable, I'll tell you. If the house appears to be overpriced, I'll tell you. And if I believe a completely different part of Housing County fits your life better, I will tell you that too. So shoot me a text at 478-888-7808. Whether you're moving next month or next year, I'd love to help you feel comfortable and confident through the entire process. It would be an honor to serve you and your family. And in the next video, I'm going to compare Warner Robins, Bonaire, Kathleen, and Perry. So if you can figure out which one actually fits your move. I'll catch you on the next one.